All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from AHA Americans How Americans and Amp Live, powered by Amp Live Media, sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Welcome to Saturday Amp Live Training. We're going to talk a little bit about today. We're going to talk about kind of like a little bit of Friday highlights in regards to the pulse of real estate, what's happening in the real estate market, what's going on, and hopefully, hey, we'll touch bases one day. But a lot of stuff is happening, market shifting and changing. So today, in the Facebook group, it's called Let's Share Real Estate Investment Deals Together. In the Facebook group, it'll be in the post down below. So in the post down below, you'll be able to click the link, jump in there, and then we're going to go live at 2 p.m., okay? 2 p.m., we're going to go live today. And we're going to talk about how to find those deals, how to talk to sellers, how to vet buyers, investors, how to reverse engineer a little bit of the wholesaling process. You know, everybody says, hey, build a list and then go after deals or build a list of buyers. Well, yes and no, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Do both, right? So maybe the chicken and the egg came at the same time. Anyways, that's what I would do is, yes, start looking at buyers, start getting your business going, and then hunting those deals and understanding what a deal is, what a deal is not, learn how to underwrite them, get your comps lined out. And instead of trying to piggyback on JV, maybe it's going to be easier. Or maybe I'll daisy chain, maybe it's going to be easier. Start looking for the easy way out. There is no such thing as easy. There's no such thing as the Staples button where you press it and everything just magically works, right? You have to become the expert in your business. You have to understand that it is a business. If you don't treat it like a business, you're just going to tire kick it, do it here once in a while, this, there, and everything. You're never going to be successful at it unless you dig in, right? You have to make a choice. You're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Can you do it part-time? Of course you can. But at least when you do something, give it 100% at that for what you're doing. If it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to go ahead and share my mug here. So today we're actually, going to be talking to sellers. We're doing that now. I got appointments, so I'm going to make this quick. But go into the Facebook group. That's what this is all about. Go join the Facebook group right now. We're going to go live at 2 p.m. and we'll get into some Saturday training. And we're going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about how you can get your first deal, how you can underwrite those deals very quickly, and how to speak with those sellers, how to chat with those sellers, and a conversation like we're having, right? So do me a favor, like, love, and share. I'd appreciate it. Like, love, and share. Streaming on several platforms across social media in the United States of America as well. Let me see if I need to do any PSA announcement here real quick. See what we got. Oh, if you want to show your mug and be part of the training, definitely let me know. And put it in the DM or put it in the notes or in the post or whatever, comment section, whatever you want to call it. And I'll send you a link. And we'll jump on here. You can pick my brain. I'll pick your brain, see what you're doing, what you got going on, need some help with anything, or what type of deals you have. At the same token, yes, please post those deals. Thank you for the people who have been posting in the Facebook group. We appreciate it. It's growing organically and naturally, which is awesome. And anything that you want, if you're looking for deals, you're looking for inventory, you need some help. Pre-foreclosures are on the rise. Probates are on the rise because of, obviously, the baby boomers. And baby boomers have two things, property and businesses that the heirs do not want. It's an opportunity, right? So there's two opportunities. Two opportunities is, yes, unfortunately, God bless their soul, we all pass. That's the exchange of property is gonna happen, and most people don't want the properties. They don't want distressed properties. They don't want to spend money. They just want stuff quick and fast, so they put it on the market and sell it. Right? Some like to put lipstick on a pig and think they can get full market value. It never happens. All it creates is just a discernment and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's best for them just to sell it, or they're going to take the time to get in that business and baby it, right? I know there's some people we've been talking to like, hey, they're tight on their loans, tight on the properties. Like, hey, I think I'm just going to keep the property and I'm going to rent it. Well, good luck to people who are going to do that. Now, unless that's their business and they don't have other lives, that becomes, remember, that property is a job, right? Even if you hire a property management company, there's a lot out there that are not that hot. Well, I'll say most of them are not. You got to interview them. You got to make sure you find the right ones. Otherwise, they'll nickel and dime your ass to death. Or they won't have your best interest, even though they're supposed to. And at the end of the day, you got to find those good ones that are going to be able to get your property rented, maintain the property, not nickel and dime you, and all that other good stuff. So that's an acquired taste. At the end of the day, who wants to have toilets fixed at midnight and things of that nature? So there's alternatives for that. So let me get back to this real quick. So Saturday training. definitely some Amp Live training around 2 p.m. We're going to get into it. I got some calls towards the evening and afternoon. Then Sunday, obviously, I'm going to shut down the phone. But, we'll hit it hard on Monday. Again, for Mindset Money Monday, Tuesday deals, Wellness Wednesday, Thursday deal day, back to Friday highlights and some Saturday training. Okay. So leave you with this. Why most fail in real estate without mentorship? Oh, it's true. The percentages, and it's just the truth. It's the way it is across the board. But you got to find people that are willing to work with you. And unless you're bringing tremendous value to them to a degree, they won't. Or if there's chemistry, or maybe they like you and they want to see you succeed, obviously, that's the awesome thing. That's what happened to me when I got my mentors by accident, right? But I also had my business set up. I took the time to set up the business. I was still working. I was studying for a real estate license. I was running the business. I was starting the business. I was building the brand and all those things and studying with the extra 40, 45 hours that I had to dedicate to that, after the fact, after leaving the corporate gig. So why most fail in real estate without mentorship? Simply because videos and TikTok and all that good stuff and YouTube can only go so far. And then if you pay for a program, hey, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. It's $500. Well, good luck to you. If it's a $600 or $500, or not even a $5 book, right? Book is great for certain things if you're going to digest it and read it and look for all the golden nuggets, but you should have a base of your skill set before you start looking at some of those deals, because you're not going to understand them. Some are there, and unless you know the mechanics of how they made money, it's not going to make sense. So they go, hey, how did they make money on that? Oh, it's creative real estate. They use private money. They use OPM, right? And they're not going to share that in the book, right? Unless you get not partner up with them, but go out there and learn the business or buy into the program of some sort, right? So everybody today, I get it. There's a lot of coaches and a lot of things, and everybody's selling courses. The bottom line here is that and you just got to find somebody you're willing to work with, or find a coach that's going to move you into some mentoring. Because when you have a coach, you can go so far, all right, and then they're going to hit a wall again, right? And then it depends on what the coach is there to do, just to hype you up, to motivate you, or they're going to actually work with you, or they're just going to hold you accountable to make sure that you get through the course. That's 90% of what, or 97% of what they do. And actual coaching is going to be different. They're going to coach you on a deal, coach you on working a deal, help you break down numbers on potential deals. And that's as far as it goes. And then the next step is mentoring, which is more expensive. It costs more. It's almost like having a doctor or an attorney, things of that nature, right? Even though they have their hourly rates, if you're working hand in hand with the doctor to learn something, even though you didn't go to school, could you learn to do certain things? Sure. Could you learn to stitch up an arm? Can you learn to, stop the blood if someone's bleeding to death? Those things you can. Or even if it's a musician or an athlete, right? You're going to get a mentor to help you take you to the next level. So it's duplication. Somebody has to pay the price for that. Somebody already went to school, or they paid money for it, or spent 3, 4, 5, 10 years. As they say, it takes at least 5 years to become an expert at anything. So there's people that like to talk a lot of shit out there. Oh, I've been doing this and that. They'll talk a bunch of shit, whatever. And 3 or 4 years, they're not even considered an expert. But hey, it is what it is. Maybe you've done some deals, maybe done a bunch of deals, and they're rocking and rolling. But until they get that level of that time frame, and everything's statistical, right? Does it 5 years? Is it considered an expert? Maybe you're considered an expert at 3 years. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. But I do say 5 years. Hey, that's the benchmark. But it shouldn't take you that long, because if you're piggybacking on other people that have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experience, that's a little high. But for me, it was 40. The guy had 40 years experience. The other apartment guy had like 20 or 30. And they paid the price. They paid the dues. So I shut up. I listened. I followed direction. I went and executed, came back, and then picked their brain for every little piece, and then reverse engineered whatever I needed to and put it into my business. Same thing. So it works, right? Don't have to rebuild the mousetrap or any of that good stuff. Just follow what they did, and that's what we're going to share with you. But that's why most fail. Most fail because, look, they don't have their hand. There's nobody they can call. Say, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? How do I talk to the seller? I read this, read that, then you execute. It may work, it may not work. You take pieces of certain things that do work, don't work, or you're just too lazy or not going to move forward, or you get on the horse, get off the horse, get on the horse, get off the horse, get on the horse, get off the horse, and you get frustrated and burned out. Because if it's a job and you're going to a job and you're getting paid every week, you're going to show up and continue to show up. That's called, like, people, I guess, people are calling it the matrix and all that good stuff, right? Like the Tate guy and other people. You get stuck in the matrix. You get stuck in the job, JOB stuff. You get stuck in that cycle. So we want to break out of that cycle. So you have to do more. You have to do more than what you're paid to do. For one, you got to look outside that box. You got to get uncomfortable with a lot of things. It's not the easiest road, right? But it's a lot easier when you have like-minded people. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. So make sure you go and click that link down below. I'm going to go ahead and put in the group thingy right here real quick. See where it's at. There we go. You can register. Just go right in here. You can join Facebook group. And there will be a bonus when we do the Facebook group, do the live. It'll be inside that group exclusively and only that group. I don't know why the other thing comes up. That's no longer valid. Doesn't mean we won't honor it, but Independence Day said, I don't know why that keeps popping up. Let me see if I can add to block list. No, okay, not going to do that. Just going to need to delete it. Anyways, there you go. So take a look at that. Jump on that Facebook group. Join 2 p.m. We'll be in about an hour. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to share the screen. Certain properties are out there. We're going to look at Southern California. So if you got deals in Southern California, send them our way. We'll underwrite them and get you an offer within 24, 72 hours. Doesn't mean we're going to buy everything because we're looking at cash, we're looking at terms, we're looking at Subto, looking at seller finance, looking at options, looking at everything under the bout in regards to exit strategies, right? Because there's going to be things that you probably never even thought about or heard of. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking in Missouri, Ohio, Florida, Montana, Tennessee, and we're hitting hard in Texas. We're going to hit the Texas Triangle. So if you're out in Texas, definitely send us your deals. Maybe we'll chat. Let's meet. You either come aboard as a mentee or if you got deals, and hey, if it makes sense, we'll look at it. And if we can work it, we'll get you paid on some of those deals, okay? And then I'll give you my 2 cents on the daisy chains and the JV stuff and a few other things and some things. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you our Surfing for Deals program to help you explode your phone, email, and text with leads. Next is going to be obviously knowing what to do when you get those leads and how to speak with the sellers and what to do and what the ratios are when you're making calls, you're doing text messages and things of that nature. You got to make those calls, right? You can't just do 4 or 5 text messages a day, 4 or 5 calls a day and think you're going to get a deal. Maybe you got lucky the first time. Maybe you did a deal here, a deal there, or you JV'd here and there. But if you want to stay consistent, then you got to be consistent. You got to push a little bit more work, right? You got to show up to the party a little bit longer, get up an hour earlier, go to bed an hour later, right? And my advice is this. If you got somebody who has experience and they're saying, hey, go try this, go do this, go do it, right? And get it done and then go back. Because look, if it worked for them, it's going to work for you. It should. 9 times out of 10 doesn't mean everything is, because everybody's personality is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me see if there's any slides I want to share with you real quick. I do want to say thank you for all past, present, future mentees of America. Also send us those deals. We're hitting it hard and heavy because the market's changing. So we're buying properties, back to the we buy house type stuff. Or it's just say we never left. It's just the branding is a little bit different, right? Instant offer, cash offers, things of that nature. So we're hitting, and especially in Southern California, okay? So let me go ahead and pull this up here. And I'll roll through it down here. So at 2 p.m., we'll probably go for about an hour of some training. And then I'm going to give you this here. It's called the Instant Access to my Surfing for Deals program. It's easy peasy, and it works. Works every single time. Gets you a 30% response rate on those leads. But people get on, get off, or they, it is what it is. If you stay consistent, any type of, I call this a vertical, right? It's one vertical. It's like surfing for deals. It's like driving for dollars. It's like text marketing, voice message, direct mail, all that good stuff. It all works, but you have to build one at a time. Make sure it's solid, then move to the next one. Make sure it's solid, move to the next one. And you should have 4 or 5 different types of marketing rolling and rock and rolling in your business. All right, so I'm going to say thank you to our sponsors, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. You can scan that QR code if you're looking for deals. Scan the QR code, get into the system, get into the ecosystem, so you can find some properties here in Southern California, things of that nature. And if you're, wanting to drop your license anywhere, maybe anywhere in the United States of America or international, definitely chit chat and I'll put you in contact. If it's a good fit, great. If it's not, it is what it is. We are looking for properties, single family properties in the Midwest. So stuff that's cash flowable in Texas Triangle, some Missouri stuff, but it needs to be like in the Kansas City metro area or the outskirts, but in places where if it's going to be a fix and flip, it's got to be under 30 days for sale to be able to move that property, right? Days on the market. If it's multifamily, do anything from a duplex to a quad to 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to 75 units we'll look at and go from there. For properties in the Midwest for cash flow, and in Texas. In Southern California, it really needs to be a tired landlord of some sort. There's got to be a value add. There's got to be some type of creative type of deal where we can either get in with low money or seller financing of some sort and provide that solution to the tired landlord. Then we're interested in that. Single family, NODs, NOTs, notice the defaults, notice the trustee sales, probate deals, ugly houses. They could be MLS, offline, off market. We prefer off market because we're dealing directly with the seller, and then we don't have what's called a gatekeeper agent unless they're unicorn agents. If they're unicorn agents, then great, let's rock and roll, and we'll show you how to vet those as well. We'll guide you through. Unless you already know you already know the role, then cool, let's get it done. All right, so free home search right there. You can obviously take a look at what we do. We're interested in any of those properties as well. So we could do the loan mod stuff. Well, we don't do the loan mods, but if they're in that process, we'll help point them in the right direction, whether it's a short sale, whether you're having difficulties with the property of some sort. Things are changing and maneuvering here in Southern California, as well as other states that we're seeing and we're noticing. But once again, thanks to our sponsors, VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence, and AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Keep on rocking and rolling. Powered by Amp Live Media. Definitely AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, like I mentioned. We appreciate you. Definitely do a DM. Go check out the Facebook group. Post your deals. And let's rock and roll and do some training in about an hour, okay? So without further ado, Made in America, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.